this is certainly a game. You mentioned earlier that you go to Fulham, you get a draw. It's not the worst result in the world. Obviously, the circumstance Arsenal find themselves in makes it a little bit worse, but it's one you can sort of accept dropping points in. At home to Everton, the way Everton have been this season, this you've got to be picking up all 3 points here.
Absolutely, yeah. You can't be dropping points at home to Everton. I mean, Everton are going to be well rested. They're not going to have played for about 2 weeks. Arsenal have played about 4 fixtures in that time, so you would think that they're going to look fresh and energetic. Everton, they're coming into it on the back of a 4-0 win as well. So confidence-wise, they're probably at their highest point they've been all season. But yeah, look, Arsenal have to win this game. I mean, you can't be dropping points in successive games, especially not at home to Everton. So it is an absolute must on Saturday that they get back to winning ways and win this game. And I'm sure, I'm very confident that they will. I don't think they weren't terrible at Fulham. They should have won that game. They didn't, but I really think they'll win this game against Everton. It would be an absolute hammer blow. I mean, it'd be curtains, really. If you lose this game, if you drop 5 points in 6 building up to Christmas, I think that would be curtains for Arsenal. So it's absolutely essential they get 3 points at the weekend.
But I think the circumstances which you just touched upon there probably make this as tough a time to play Everton as possible, considering they've had the rest, considering not just the rest in the legs, but the extra time on the training ground for Sean Dyche to get Everton prepared for this game. You know, they're going to be pretty, rock solid, sit back and try and frustrate Arsenal, which, when we've spoken about a potential lack of creativity, could be the undoing, potentially. As you say, it is a game Arsenal would expect to win, but when it comes to times to play Everton, when they've had that rest, when they've had that extra time on the training ground, when they're coming back off the 4-0 win, this is as tough a time, certainly this season, it is to play them, I think. Yeah,
it is. Kind of feels like Arsenal have had, and it's not, I'm not using this as an excuse, but this season feels like I don't want to use the word luck because I don't think luck really comes into it, but they've not really had the rubber to green Arsenal this season in an awful lot of things. Just seems to be going against them. Really sort of fine margins, small decisions. The sendings off for kicking the ball away, which you've not seen anyone else get red cards for that. And I doubt we'll ever see anyone get red cards for it again, apart from that 1 week period when Arsenal lost 2 and they were winning both those games. They end up dropping points in both of them at those points. Just little things like that. The offside goal against, it was offside. It was silly for Martinelli, shouldn't have? But that, it just feels like the real fine margins are going against Arsenal this season. And when I look at where they are in the table, and I think where they could be, had things just slightly gone in their way in the big moments this season, it would be a completely different story. And again, this one, it does feel like it's gone against them a bit in terms of how prepared Everton are going to be for this game. Look, we know what it's going to be. It's going to be another afternoon when you're coming up against a team who are going to play in a very low block, who are going to look to keep things very, very tight. Maybe, score from a set piece, because as good as Arsenal have been scoring from set pieces, they've been conceding from them as well. We know that's the strength of Everton. So it's going to be, I imagine it's going to be a pretty frustrating afternoon. I don't see it being a very entertaining, thrilling game against this Everton side. I think it's going to be Arsenal going to have to stay patient, try and grind them down. They might have to score from a set piece again if needs be, and just to get themselves ahead. And if they can get themselves ahead, an early goal would be big for Arsenal in this one. Get an early goal, sort of get Everton game plan out the window a little bit, and it should be a much more comfortable afternoon's work.